Welcome back. We're here with John from Fox Auto Detailing in Sylvania, Ohio. John, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. I
Thanks for
appreciate
coming
it.
on. I'm excited to learn more about your expertise. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So we actually talked about when I was here last time about the damage that car washes can do. Can you talk about how car washes damage the paint on people's cars?
Okay, so how the process works, you want the vehicle, wet as possible before anything touches it. Any loose debris, dirt, anything that's on the vehicle. And what happens with the auto washes is they're not rinsed off properly before. And then obviously a lot of people are using that wash and the bristles are just containing a whole bunch of contaminants, and you can imagine. And then in our area, we also get rusty vehicles. So you get some really clean cars, some new cars, and then you get some older cars, and it just causes havoc on the clear coat on the paint. It just causes a lot of swirls with the hard brushes, and they're just sliding on that sometimes dry paint. And depending if they don't keep up on maintenance on these machines, it's just gonna tear apart the car little by little.
So you would say that car washes almost do more damage to the car than, cleaning it.
Yeah, obviously I get it. We're all busy.
Yeah.
It's convenient. The kids like it. I used to go through them years ago, and the kids get a lollipop, a sucker, whatever, and for most people, a lot of people don't care exactly what their car looks like under a scope. They just see if it's clean, but under different lights, you can really see the clear coat is just taking a toll. So it does good, but also it can do a lot of bad
Yeah.
and damage cars.
And what are some small things people can do to keep their car clean?
It's as simple, I do it myself. I tell my wife. We have 3 children. I get it. Life is
Yeah.
crazy. You're running back to school. Got sports events, everything. So obviously you're stopping at the gas station a lot unless you have an electric vehicle. So I just recommend anything, cups, bags, any use their trash can. So every time I fill up my car, I go through it, ask my kids, "Hey, what can I take?" Or just have like a little trash can in your vehicle. Just vacuuming it out regularly on the interior, the windows, plastic, a little wipe down goes a long way. Best thing is just to have, the all-weather floor liners. They go up the edges. Really, it really helps like the maintenance of the vehicle on the interior. Exterior, I would say, obviously hand washes are the best. So if you can't do it, go to somebody that does auto detailing, and they can work inside during the winter and do a proper hand wash.
And the detailing business is a very saturated business
Yeah,
with a lot of people getting into it,
absolutely,
especially, like side hustles and hobbies and things like that.
absolutely.
How do you stand out versus other detailing businesses?
So I've been doing this since before I could work. Um, my brothers, we all have a passion for just cars in general. Horsepower, drag racing, all that. My dad has a few classic Mustangs. My brothers just naturally we gravitated towards that, and we all have Mustangs or other cars, and we just like modifying them, making them go fast, and I like keeping them clean. So my job when I was younger, as soon as I was tall enough and able, I would clean all of our cars in the family, and they just saw that I was pretty good at it. So then I started working at dealerships, and then after that, I got different jobs, and but I always kept doing it on the side. Um, I didn't do it for money because I used to not charge like anything. So I just really enjoy it. It makes me happy. I like seeing the before and after, and then I do it because it makes people happy. So I'm giving a service. It makes them happy. It makes me happy seeing their expression.
What was it like finding something that you love to do at such a young age?
I really didn't think about it back then. I had a lot of hobbies, sports and such. That, you know, it's a hobby, but it can also be, a business. Also, I really didn't think about it as a young age, but I just stuck to it, and something inside me just said, just keep doing it. Makes you happy, and actually it takes stress away. To be honest, it's actually my little getaway. So, yeah.
And like you mentioned before, you're not in the detailing business to get rich.
Mm-hmm.
You're here to provide a quality service with respectable prices.
Mm-hmm.
Why not chase the money?
Uh, money just causes issues. If you're just doing something for the money, it can get pretty ugly pretty fast. You're not respecting other people the way that you should. Money isn't everything, so often I'll ask people, "Hey, do you mind dropping it off, or can I do it this time?" Because like I said, I'm married. I have 3 children, so um, sometimes I cannot always be there because I have sports events or something that I do not want to miss. I've had jobs where I worked nights, days, 12-hour shifts, 16-hour shifts, so and all the overtime. So with this job, I really enjoy what I do, and if people understand, we can work around each other's schedules. Obviously, I'm here, Monday through Friday. I work the weekends
Yeah,
also. I'm not saying that, but it's just when the money's involved, that's all that matters in your life, and then you neglect other things,
yeah,
and you're you're just looking at that dollar. You're not looking at your service quality, and the relationship with your client.
absolutely. And I
So
think I would even argue you could make more money long term if you take your approach. Because as you chase the money and you let go of your quality customer service, those customers aren't coming back.
right,
So how are you going to sustain a long-term business
correct,
with
yeah,
no customer service and you
yeah,
chasing money?
I
It might
agree.
make you quick money, but are you really going to make as much money if you were going to go the long-term route?
Yeah, I agree. I would like to gain a relationship, and hopefully my clients are comfortable with me, and they can reach out whenever they have an issue, even when they don't have an issue. I make posts like that my family, like, we might go on a vacation, and I think people
Yeah.
like to see that too.
Yes.
I'm just a guy. I'm just I'm cleaning cars for a living, and I just really enjoy what I do. Just trying to make everybody, make myself happy, make them happy with a quality service, fair prices. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I think people do want to see John the human. Like
right.
they want to see you outside of detailing because that gets them invested in your business. It gets them interested in what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And my next question is actually from Jack Guy.
Mm-hmm.
What is your least favorite thing to detail?
My least favorite thing to detail. Uh, I do like a challenge. There are some obvious ones that people might think. And, obviously, after a night out, sometimes maybe you've had too much to drink and those drinks come up. And I'm the guy that sometimes has to
Yeah.
clean that mess. So that's what I would say. And then also, one that many people don't think of. I really don't. I like doing it, but it can be difficult cleaning windows and glass. Just finding the right rags to use,
Yeah.
methods, the right cleaner. Because you might get streaks all over the windows and such. It's harder than it looks. So that's actually one thing that people are like surprised when I tell them that.
That is very surprising.
Yeah, glass can be tough to clean.
But it
You
makes
know,
sense. You even when you try to clean your windows at home, like you're streaking all over the
right?
place. But
Yeah,
when it's a car, it's like
yeah.
weird positions. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
yeah, and there's several methods that people use. So if it works, it works.
And you also mentioned that you were very passionate about cars.
Yes. Yeah.
Did this translate into you having a successful detailing business?
I would say so because people might bring a vehicle and they don't really even know what they have, and I'm like, hey, did you know it has this
Yeah.
feature, or this motor is can make this amount of power, or the drive line in it, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't know that." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's you have a special vehicle," and they appreciate that,
Yeah.
and I just have the knowledge. I just do a lot of research on cars, and I'm a car nerd. I like them all.
Yeah.
Trucks, little cars, performance cars, anywhere like from a Ferrari all the way down. My brother had a Yugo GVX, and that's a special model. And like people are like, "You like Yugos?" And I'm like, yeah, because my brother had one. It's this goofy car. So we've had them all in the family, high end and the beaters with the heaters. They all deserve some TLC.
And you mentioned that you also worked, long nights, long weekends when you were working that job.
Mm-hmm.
Was there any regrets that kind of pushed you to leave that job and then kind of start your own thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was the main thing was this family motivated. Um, I just saw changes in me. I saw changes in my family, and as my children were getting older, I didn't want to miss out on them growing up because you always get people tell you, "Hey, they're gonna be growing up in the
Yes.
blink of an eye," and now I see that. My oldest is 9, youngest is 4, and it's true. Even when my wife and I were away on a week vacation for a wedding, I got back, and I just couldn't believe how tall they look, how big they looked. And my youngest is speaking so clearly. She's so smart. I just didn't want to miss any of that family time, especially when they're getting in sports events and just school activities. I just want to be there. I never want them to like, oh yeah, I wish like daddy was around more. Not just chasing that almighty dollar.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people, especially men, get into this thought process of I have to go grind, I have to go,
Mm-hmm.
work 12-hour days, which is fine. But what would your advice be to a father that is feeling like they're missing out on their kids growing up?
My advice, and it is tough. Obviously, as men and women, if we have a family, we have to provide. And in some cases, one or the other is the main provider, and someone's looking after the children. If they're not in a daycare, if both, uh, if the mom and dad, if they're not working, if one's just mainly working, you're missing out on everything that they're experiencing. Like your significant other is picking up the slack. School events, like I said, sports, just the day to day stuff. Breakfast,
Yeah.
feeding them dinner. Like
Those small things.
I missed a lot of dinner time, and what I'd like to get back to, and what I strive to do, is we all eat together. At the dinner table. I think it's just like really important, and you have your conversations. Um, and, go around and see how everybody's day was. That's what I grew up with, and I'd like to continue that with my family, and just try to have a set, core values, like, so
Well, it's those small things that the kids are going to remember. Like,
yeah,
hey, like dad came to my game, or dad gave me a hug when I scored that goal,
yeah,
or hey,
hmm
dad, asked me how my day was when I won the spelling bee. Those small things are what, they're going to
yeah,
remember.
and also with the money, yeah, you can buy your children more things, but they're not going to remember the material things. They're gonna remember, oh yeah, like dad missed my championship game or my recital. That was really important, and they weren't there because they were working and providing. So you just gotta get a good balance, work life balance. I think that's helpful.
And why do you think in business customer service is lost?
I think customer service is lost just because we're so fast and we want everything in and out. Um, and when you got that high pace, you do lose connection. And I every time I have a car, I make sure they inspect it and make sure they are happy. If there's something, I want to make it right. I will make it right. So often I see like bigger businesses or big companies that kind of gets kicked to the side a little bit because they are turning out so much business, and sometimes they're not taking the time to make sure, did I get all the steps correct? Are my clients actually happy, or are they just okay? You did the service, and maybe they'll be back, maybe they won't. So
And this is more on the personal side. Do you think everything happens for a reason?
yeah, I for I believe you can. Everything does happen for a reason. Um, I think it's just a mindset. Also, I mean, it depends on what you care about, what inspires you, or what makes you happy. So it depends on what you are focusing on, and I try to focus on the people, and so they come to me for a reason. I ask them what's your problem, what do you need help with, and then they leave happy, satisfied. So I just want to continue that rotation. Um, yeah.
I have two more questions
It's
for you. If you could have dinner with two people,
mm-hmm.
one person from the past and one person from the present, who would it be and why?
From the present and the past, two people. That's tough. Let's see. Just a fun one. Uh, I always try to be a comedian growing up, so I would probably I would invite Chris Farley,
Okay.
because I always looked up to him as like a comedian, and everything he did was just hilarious to me. So I always try to act like him when I was younger. And then present right now, I would say, let's see, I would say like Steve Eiserman,
Okay.
because I was a huge hockey fan. So I think that'd be cool, chilling with him, asking him some questions. You know,
What would like one thing you would want to learn from him?
Steve Eiserman. Well, he was a captain for many years, so he has years of experience in leading the team, um, and then he has experience in coaching. So obviously, he knows how to make good decisions, and he makes some tough calls. So just asking advice on those tough calls when the time comes, see what his advice would be. And then obviously we would just talk about hockey and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Those are two new ones. We've not had those.
No.
Nope, 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 not
Yeah.
had those ones. I have one more question for you.
Okay.
Why did you decide to partner with us and offer the discounts?
Well, I am a small business, so it's just me. I do have one other person that helps me, and that's new. So every little bit helps, and it's just support, knowing that somebody does have your back, and trying to help you out, and that just means a lot. Even if you don't become big or you're not as successful, just knowing that someone was just striving for you. They were trying their best. Putting in their effort, and don't even know me, like you're getting to know me, but it was just nice since our first talk, you know, and you spreading the word, and just asking these questions and getting to know and wanting to get to know me. I appreciate it, really
Thank you.
do.
I appreciate you, man. I mean, like,
Absolutely.
thank you for supporting
Yeah,
us and the kind words.
absolutely.
That's all the questions I have for you.
Okay.
How can people find you? And what is one thing you want to leave people with?
People can find me on Facebook, or it's foxautodetail.com. But yeah, Fox Auto Detailing on Facebook. Um, what I want to leave people with is there are, as far as business goes, obviously you said it's a very saturated place, but I try to offer something that's, more personal. Um, and I try to take more time than, like, maybe like a bigger company would do. and just try to get everything off your list that you want accomplished with your car, even if it's something simple as a hand wash, or as high as like polishing, buffing, and a paint correction, and then like ceramic coating, stuff like that. So if it's a little or big project, I'm ready to tackle it. And then just just be good to people. Treat others as you want to be treated. That's what I try to do, and that's how I try to. Um, that's how I'm gonna try to lead my business
I
with
love it,
that.
John.
Yeah,
That's awesome. And I think we need more businesses like that.
yeah,
So we appreciate you and thanks for
yeah.
coming on.
Thank you very much.